Why, hello out there, and welcome to Two Dudes on the Radio!
Where the world is crazy, but luckily, so are we.
My name is Edward Boyce.
And I'm Shaner.
Thanks. That's not what I meant to say. Sorry for the late start, everyone.
We were so close.
What do you mean?
We almost got the intro, and then you messed up.
No,
Thanks.
we did it. Oh, we did it. We basically did it. Don't overcomplicate it, Shaner.
Fine, we did it. We can't have a show without bragging about how we did it.
We did it. Yeah, sorry for the late start. We were talking about Fallout 3 and stuff.
It's great
and we
stuff.
just lost track of time. So, if you're not already, follow us. Facebook and Instagram. Just to keep track of when the show goes on YouTube. And if you're listening live, thanks.
Why wouldn't
I'm
you subscribe to us? I mean, come on. What's it going to cost you? Like 3 seconds? Not even.
I mean, yeah, 3 seconds.
Just go do it.
Just go do it. Just do it!
Just do it. Yeah. Get it. Come on.
All right. So we'll just mosey on right in here. We'll go a little late today on the show.
It's okay. I don't think anyone's in here after us.
I don't think so either. So yeah, top 5 in the hive. Let's go.
Top 5.
Shaner came up with this topic late last night, so
And it was.
this is why
it was decent.
All right, let's hear it, Shaner. What is it? What did you think of in your brilliance?
My top 5 list is top 5 weird things found in our houses. Not necessarily our dorm rooms. Well, you don't have a dorm room anymore. Yeah, I know. Houses. And they don't have to be owned by us necessarily. They just have to be in the house.
Okay. Yeah,
That's the list.
I have an apartment. Shaner lives with his family still.
I live in my dorm room. Thank you.
Sorry, are you talking about your dorm or like your home?
My home.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to have an apartment and a dorm room, Eddie.
I don't know.
Some of us aren't married yet. Some of us didn't just betray our roommates. Top 5.
So my number 5. That is not my list. Sorry, I usually email myself a list, and that wasn't the list. Son of a biscuit. Shaner, go ahead while I'm trying to make it.
All right. My top 5 are going to have to be, I have these huge steamer trunks. You know what a steamer trunk is?
What the heck is a steamer trunk?
A steamer trunk is what they call them. They're huge metal boxes. Like what you'd put on a boat. Like if you were traveling somewhere in the, not to say, because olden days sounds stupid, but if you were traveling somewhere, in like the 1920s or 1930s, maybe, I don't know, you'd have those big metal boxes that you'd store all your stuff in.
Right.
So you know what a trunk is.
Yes, I do know what a trunk is.
The steamer trunk is like a big metal one. And I have 2 or 3 of them in my room.
Oh.
And they're huge. They're probably about the size of like, I'm trying to think, you could probably fit like a 10-year-old child in them comfortably. They'd be folded, but you could. They're big. They're these big trunks, and I store all kinds of stuff in them. I think one's full of puppets. So that actually makes it more interesting. A steamer trunk full of puppets.
That sounds a bit creepier.
What? I have a puppet collection. Sue me, and they're all stored in these huge. I inherited them from I got them from my church, which got them from my previous church. They've been passed down, and finally they came to me, and it's a unique thing. So puppet collection / steamer trunks.
Interesting. Keep rolling with your list, because whatever reason. So for those of you who don't know, I create all my notes on my phone, and then I send them over to my computer. Usually I send them over right before the show, but they're not like appearing in my email. So like I'm trying to get them.
Shout out to Google Docs, because if Eddie used Google Docs, we'd be in shape.
Well, like it's awkward to use Google Docs on my phone.
I find it. I just did it right before the show.
Well, good for you. I guess I need to do that now to prevent this.
Google Docs. Shout out to Google Docs. I love Google Docs.
All right, sounds good. I can use my phone right now. So Shannon, just run through your entire list.
All right. So number 4, I'm gonna go with cosplays. Now, that may not be weird to everyone because some people are cosplayers.
Right.
But I mean, if you walked around my house, you could find, if you went up into my room, you could find my full Gandalf costume.
Right.
I like to think that's a little weird. If you go out to my dad's shop, his workshop built onto the house, you'd find, a full Deathstroke the Terminator cosplay. It's pretty impressive. He's got it on a rack. He's much better at storing them.
I've seen it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's much better at storing them than I am. Mine are like in a corner or like piled in my dresser. So cosplays, I'm gonna say, just because there's always something weird and wacky and in progress.
Mm-hmm.
My brothers are always building weapons and props. Not something you just find in someone's normal home. But if you have cosplays in your home, shout out to you because you're pretty cool. Now, my number 3
Mhm.
I'm going to go with mice. Not just any mice, though.
Wait.
Hold on. I'm getting there. These mice, as far as we can tell, like to steal rice from our pantry and hide it in bags of clothes in our attic.
Probably as a storage system.
You know, I came upstairs. I came up in my attic one day, and I was
Okay.
like, I had these big garbage bags full of clothes where I store all my coats I'm not using, you know, pants,
Right.
things I've grown out of, stuff like that. So I'm opening up this bag, and I pull out, I think it was a coat, and all this rice fell off of it. And we checked to make sure, and it was rice. I didn't boil it and eat it, but it didn't look like it dried out anything. You know, they thought
Right.
maybe dried out like
Oh.
eggs or something creepy like that. Hey, it was rice. So as far as we can tell, the mice are stealing the rice from downstairs, going up 2 floors, and storing it in my bags of stuff in the attic. It's pretty weird and annoying, I'll tell you that much. And I wish they would stop. But you know what? You live with what you
there
got.
are worse things that you could find in your clothes, you know?
Now we're going to move into the 2 top heavy hitters. The
Top
first
heavy
one, I
hitters.
found this at a thrift store, and I almost left it there, and I can't believe I almost left it there.
Mm-hmm.
It is a stereo, a CD player stereo with
How's
an
that
aux
weird?
connection and everything. But what makes it weird is it is shaped and themed like Perry the Platypus.
What?
Yeah, the dials for the sound and volume, you know, this volume and channel changing are its eyes. You store the microphone on its. It comes with microphones too. You store the microphones on its tails. The
Yo, we
CD
could have
player,
a jukebox night or something.
Right? The CD player is in its back. Like you open up its back to put that in. The control panel is in its head, and the speakers just play from, you know, I think the sides of it. And you can do everything. You can hook up an aux cable. I played music from my phone on it before, you know?
Does it actually sound good?
Yeah, it sounds fine. It's a speaker, you know?
Huh, all right.
You can use the microphones to talk through it. It's got voice modulation.
Voice what?
Yeah. All shaped like Perry the Platypus. Not like, and I don't mean his, you know, standing up on with a hat bipedal Perry the Platypus form.
Okay.
I mean like his stupid looking platypus. Stupid looking being a good thing.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's great. And like I said, you turn the eyes to adjust the volume. It's so weird, but you know, I wasn't going to just leave that there at the thrift store. Come on. So it's sitting in my room, and I'm going to show it to you sometime because it's a beautiful piece.
That's pretty impressive.
And for number 1, this one I think can match anything you got. Sitting, I don't know if you ever noticed it, because you've been over to my house a couple times.
Twice.
I thought it was more than that.
So, okay, let's see. I was over
The one picnic day.
the one picnic day with me, Holly, Damien, and I think Claire came
Mhm.
over. And then the one time I stayed over your place after that one concert that me and Holly went to. We stayed over that one place. So they're
I
the only
forgot
2
about
times
that.
I've been over there.
I thought there was one more time before, like another picnic day before that. You guys all came
No,
out.
I've
Oh.
only been there twice.
Anyways, sitting above the window near my, you know, kitchen table
Uh-huh.
is a stuffed deer butt, not a deer head.
Why would you have that? What is wrong
It
with
was
you?
there when we moved in. The people who had the house previously put it there. We know them. I don't think I've ever asked them why, but it's like, you
Oh.
know, it sticks out about maybe 6 inches from the wall, including the tail at the end,
Oh.
and it's held up by a dart, like a throwing dart,
Oh.
and it's way up high too. It's like right near touching the ceiling, and it just sticks there, sticking out, and it's plush. It's not like, you know, it's not an actual deer, but as far as as far as I know, it's fake. But it doesn't. It looks real enough. Yeah, it's one of those things I've gotten used to, and I don't even notice it anymore. And most people don't notice it because it's way up in like the corner, because it's above the kitchen, between the wall and the ceiling. But yeah, so taxidermy. You can't see my air quotes. Taxidermy deer butt sticking out of the wall above the kitchen table. Beat that, Eddie.
I think I can.
So
Actually.
top 2: platypus stereo and
Fake deer
stuffed
butt.
deer butt. What do you got?
I think I can best this. By the
All
way.
right, hit us.
However, so my notes never came on my computer. So we're actually going to take a quick break. We're going to play one song, and for using YouTube, it won't really matter. But I need to get my notes because I can't do anything without them. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. Welcome back. As soon as we went on break, I got my email.
His
so,
computer was just messing
good.
with him.
Nah, it's like the reception in here. Like,
Oh,
I think that's why. So I guess I'm not doing that again. All right, so back to what we were doing. Top 5 in the Hive, which our topic is weird things that we have in our houses.
Yeah.
So Shannon ran through his 5. So I'm going to get through my 5. So my 5, number 5, is a plastic. Crap. It's a plastic clock, but it's fashioned like a. It has like the little. Crap.
Pendulum.
Think
So
at the
it's
bottom.
basically a plastic grandfather
There
clock.
you go. Yes, it's a plastic grandfather clock, but it's like small. It's like 6 inches high and like 4 inches wide.
Nice.
So, and it also plays hymns
Ooh.
at the top. It's like at each hour in the day. It goes from like 8 to 8, I think it is, or something like
Not
something
bad.
like that. Yeah, it's not something you'd find in
Right.
a young couple's apartment.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Ever, so you got
So
me there.
my one uncle, he owns a clock shop.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Nice.
a clock shop and repair shop. So that's where I'm assuming he got it from.
Yeah.
Was from his shop. So it's a nice gift.
Right.
It was a nice gift it was a wedding gift to us, and it's just a nice thing because I always have like that clock there. It's not like your typical round clock you stick up on the wall. So.
Right. It's unique.
An uncommon item you'd find, especially in a young couple's apartment.
I would believe that. I don't think I've ever found one of those in an old person's apartment either.
Well, it is plastic. Yeah, you'd find like a wooden one. I would
Yeah.
assume.
You
Yeah.
young people and your plastic.
Shout out to Aunt Arlene and Uncle Scott if you're listening. I know sometimes they do once in a while. So if you are, thanks for the clock. We appreciate it and still use it. You're seeing unloaded. Old
What?
Dougie over there?
Yeah, I was waving to him.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah.
Oh.
I knew him back when he was a scout leader.
Oh,
Yeah, back before. He may have still been a teacher here, but yeah, back when he led Boy Scouts, I knew him.
sorry. Anyways. My number 4. It's a bag of melted Hershey Kisses. Now, they're not like melted, they're like hard backing in, but they had melted at one point.
So they're all in weird shapes.
Their own weird shapes and like
Okay.
the aluminum foils
Right.
like in them. So they're dark chocolate in case anyone
Perfect.
cares. So
Best
story,
kind.
I got these for me and I got these for Holly and I for our wedding night and our honeymoon. However,
Wait, they've been there since your honeymoon.
we've had them since then,
It's pretty impressive.
which was like a year and a half ago. Yeah,
I think the weirder thing is you haven't eaten all of them yet.
Well, it's
I would
because
have.
there's like all aluminum and like the plastics like all in it,
Oh,
so like you have to like
need
dig
it's
through.
a effort.
It's an effort to eat them.
Okay.
That's why they haven't been eaten. But for whatever reason, we. Sorry. Back to my story.
Sorry.
You distracted me.
I derailed
So I
you.
got
I'll
them
shut
for the
up.
wedding night / honeymoon, and she likes dark chocolate, so that's why I got them.
It's a
for
great
her.
choice.
Yeah. So the only thing is, like, I got them, but then I left them in my car, like when I bought them, like a couple days before, and so they all melted. I didn't realize this. So when I brought them,
I
to
bet
our
that made a
honeymoon-
unique experience.
Yeah, I opened it, was like, oh crap.
It was memorable, at least. I mean, you can't say it wasn't memorable.
Yeah, so we just never threw them out. And every once in a while, I'll try to eat one, and it's like, for the parts that I can eat, it's good, but like it takes like a minute or two to like, pick it
Yeah,
all out.
it's a challenge.
Challenge. So and we just haven't thrown it out. So yeah,
That's a
my
good
number,
one.
bag of
That's a
melted
memorable
Hershey Kisses.
story.
Yeah, pretty much. My number 3 are my wisdom teeth. I had my wisdom teeth removed.
Oh, I thought you meant still in your mouth, and I'm like, congratulations. So do I.
No.
Big whoop.
No, I had them removed. Hold on, I gotta think here. 7 years ago? I'm gonna say 7 years ago. Mom, you can comment how many years ago it was you remember.
Yeah, you should be commenting anyways. If you're listening, comment. You know?
Yeah,
We
shout
want
out-
to hear from everyone.
Shout out to Shanner's dad who like is killing it in the comment section.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I have my wisdom teeth from then because I'm not really sure why. I feel like it'd be a crime to throw them out, so I've just kind of kept them.
Really?
I feel yeah.
Wait, they let you keep them after the surgery?
Yeah, they just gave them to me, like, here. I was like, cool.
I want to see them next time.
And
at
I
your
brought them
house.
from my house to my apartment. I brought them
I
with
want
me.
to see them.
All right, next time you're
It
in my
sounds
place.
weird. It sounds creepy to probably. They'd be probably creepy to look at, but I want to see them.
I mean, yeah, there's like dried blood on them, but like, yeah.
Dried blood. Who hasn't seen a bit of dried blood?
I mean,
you know?
yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's not too gross. I don't know why you've kept them. I just feel like I shouldn't throw them out. That's the
You
only
get cursed.
reason.
If you throw them out, you get cursed.
Maybe.
You throw them out, all your teeth fall out. Your teeth's health rests upon how well you keep your wisdom teeth.
Can't lose your wisdom.
Can't lose them.
Can't lose them.
So that's it. If you throw out your wisdom teeth, you'll lose your wisdom.
Does that beat your number 1?
You know what? It actually probably does. I was not expecting wisdom teeth.
I still got 2 more to go, man.
Oh, okay.
That was my number 3.
I was going to say, I didn't think we'd done all 5 yet.
I mean, that could probably be my number 1.
But let's hear your other
Like,
ones.
these other 3 could be kind of intermittent. This next one should probably be my number 3, but I put them in this order. My number 2 is an empty can of Yerba Mate tea.
What is Yerba Mate tea?
It's pretty much just a specialty that's in a can.
That's
all I know
gross.
really about it.
It's already gross.
It's already gross, yeah.
Any tea but fresh made tea is an abomination and should be destroyed.
Interesting.
That is my manifesto.
Okay. It's supposed to be really healthy for you. So I have this empty can, like, in my house. It's not, like, out for anyone to see. It's, like, in this box of memories.
Right.
So, like, 3 years ago? 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago, I went to, like, this music conference in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with a bunch of different people, yada yada. And like at the end of the trip, someone asked if I could drive them to the airport because I was the only one with a car, and
Makes
everyone
sense.
else was Ubering. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll drive you. And it was just someone I really respect. He's never gonna listen to this, but shout out to Ruslan. And so like I didn't really have any souvenirs from the trip,
Mm-hmm.
and he had this can of Yerba Mate tea that he had drank, and he left it in my car.
Yeah.
And so I kept it as a memory because I didn't really have any souvenirs.
Well, that is a pretty nice
Actually, I lied. I do have a souvenir. I have a CD I bought from that. So, okay, I
one. Well,
lied.
the tea can means a little more, I think. It's something you'll always remember.
Yeah, because it's something that he's the only one I know that drinks it. So, like, I see that and I think of, like, that trip and, like, that car ride. So, yeah, sentimental. It's an empty can. I'm sure we all kept empty cans at some point or
Oh, yeah,
another.
probably.
Yeah, so I have this empty Yerba Mate tea can.
But see, it's a memory.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's not growing anything in it.
I can't promise anything.
Tea will do that.
I think I rinsed it out before.
Good, okay.
I think I did. So that's my number 2. My number 1. Shannon, this is your fault. There's a plastic fetus in my apartment.
Wait, is that where it is?
Yeah, George is in my apartment.
Really?
George the plastic fetus is in my apartment. Shannon, do you want to tell them why I have a plastic fetus?
I would love to.
Do you not remember?
But I have no clue, honestly, how... Okay, see, the problem is... Here's the problem.
Okay.
The problem is I've owned 2 of those so far.
Oh, you had 2?
And I don't remember if you have the
They
first
came
one.
in pairs?
No. So I had one, and then
Okay.
I lost it, and I think... Did I give this to you sophomore year?
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's where it went?
Yeah, you gave me George.
I did?
Yeah.
When?
Sophomore year, you're like, here, take this.
Really? I always thought I lost that.
No, you gave it to me.
Yeah, so I got another one to replace him, because I thought... Really?
Yeah, I have him on my dresser
We are in cover.
because I don't know where else to put it.
How long did I not know this? Really?
Yeah, you named him George and you gave
Yeah,
him
I
to me.
remember him.
I can't remember why you gave it to me,
Great
but you're like,
times.
here, take this.
I thought
No,
I just lost
you left
that.
it as a prank on my bed. You like put it on my pillow because when I went to bed at night, I fell asleep with this thing. I'm like, what is this?
But it wouldn't have been in your apartment, though.
No. This is when we were roommate.
Really?
Yeah, this is when
I
we were rooming
remember
together.
putting it on your pillow.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought I lost that.
Nope.
Wow. That's a good revelation, actually. I am happy you brought that up.
What'd you name the other one? The new one you got?
I don't remember. It's sitting in my house. It's actually sitting in a giant robot toy. Because I thought I lost the first one. So Cass's mom, if you guys don't know, Cassie is my fiance and her mother is a
Hi, Cass.
nurse something. I think she's just a nurse. I don't know medical
Okay.
terms. But she works at a hospital.
Right.
And so she somehow got another one of these because she was the reason I got the first
Oh,
one.
Okay.
And it was so weird that I was like, yeah, I'm just going to carry this thing around and, weird people out. So she got me another one because I lost the first one, I thought. But now that makes so much more sense. Well, I'm glad he is happy.
Why do hospitals have plastic fetuses?
I don't know. It may be the first one came from like a booth at a fair or something, like a medical
Oh,
booth.
Okay.
I don't know why you'd give those out. I don't think it was anything like pro-life or anything,
Uh-huh.
but it may have been something like that. I don't
Mhm.
remember. But I think someone got it for me as a prank. Like either Cassie's brother or Cassie's mom got it for me as a prank or something.
Huh.
I was like, look at this weird thing. And I was like, I want it. And the second one they got because they knew I loved the first one so much. That is actually really funny. Well, I'm glad George is happy.
I mean, he's on my dresser. I don't know if he's happy or not. But we'll have to
Well,
reunite
I thought
them.
he was gone.
I'll have to reunite you
Yeah.
next time you come
Does he
over.
still have, did I draw a face on that one?
No.
That one's blank? Okay.
Yeah, it's blank.
Wow. I am glad you brought that up. That makes me really happy because I thought I just lost that first one. I had no idea where he went. Wow.
There you go. Find something new every day. I think I won the weirdest things in the house
I think
competition.
you did.
I thought for sure you'd win this one, but
No, I thought you
Alright.
got me there. We went up to 3:30 on this one.
well, we had a pause and we
That's
started
true.
late, so it's fine.
Hit
So,
us
yeah.
with your app.
By the way, student of the week,
Oh, yes. Can't forget that.
Mallory Yoder.
Good job.
Good job, Mallory. You did it.
Yeah, you know.
The thing.
The thing.
The thing.
And if you don't know the thing, not our problem.
Not a problem. You should know what you're doing. for
Yeah,
that.
if you don't know what you're doing, sorry.
Sorry.
Wait, didn't she graduate?
No, she's still here. I work with her at Sheets.
Oh. Maybe I'm thinking of a different Mallory.
You're thinking of Mal. Did I say Yoder? No, I did.
Isn't she in the army or something? Or like in the...
She has a different last name, I think.
Anyways, go on.
Hold on, I'm so maybe they have the same first, maybe the same name. I have no idea.
Wait.
I'm talking about Danny's girlfriend.
Oh, you
Mel.
mean Mel.
Did I say Mallory?
You did. Because I'm thinking of someone else. Complete.
Sorry,
You're
I
thinking of
meant
Melissa.
Melissa. Yes, I'm sorry.
I was so confused because I know a Mallory who
No, you're
goes
right.
here, and I'm like,
No,
I
you're
thought
right.
she
She
would-
did graduate.
okay.
Yes.
I was confused. Like, you work with her at Sheets too?
No.
Do you work with everyone at Sheets?
No, sorry, Melissa Yoder. My bad.
Okay,
I'm
things
sorry.
make a lot more sense now. I thought I was just losing it, but for once,
Look, man, I typed in the M. Her name came up. No, it was M. It was either M or Y. I forget. Her name came up. I said it. Anyways, Mel Yoder, good job. Hi, hello, Mallory. Anyways, quenching your appetite.
yes, quench our appetites.
I will quench your appetite where we talk about an app, meaning me.
What?
Your app for the day. I talk about it. I'm going to tell you about
Yeah,
it.
I was confused there for a second. Go on.
Whatever. Questions in a box.
Questions in a box.
Yes. It is a free app.
I like free.
Throw it out there
apps.
right now. It's on Apple. I don't know if it's on Android. I think it is. It is a biblical ministry tool to help with conversations and to help
Okay.
start meaningful conversations.
Ooh, that's something I struggle with. So please tell me what this app is about.
It's made by spreadtruth.com. I got introduced to this when I went on a missions trip. To New York. Yeah, it was in New York. So this is when I was introduced to this. I don't ever use it as a ministry tool. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I just use this to ask cool questions.
I like questions.
That I don't like. Instead of me trying to think of one or going on the internet and see
Yeah.
something not so nice, I just go on this app and I find something meaningful.
I like cool questions.
It's a nice little app. So there's 4 different categories of questions. All right, it all depends on who you're talking to. So there's the we just met category.
Okay.
There's acquaintances,
Mm-hmm.
good friends, and big picture.
That's a unique system to organize your stuff.
Yes. Well, you're supposed to you hit each box depending on who you're talking to. So if it's me and you, I would hit big picture.
Okay.
But if it's
yeah.
me and someone I've talked to for 5 minutes, I would hit the we just met.
Yeah, makes sense.
So there's that. So just to kind of give you a taste of what types of questions these are, we're going to go through each category and give you 2 questions from each. So the we just met category. Strangest thing you've ever eaten, which I don't know how you can translate that to Bible, but sure, whatever.
I mean, I think there were some weird things eaten in the Bible. There probably is if you look.
Well, but it's what you've eaten. So I guess if you travel to
Just be
Israel,
like,
you can say,
yeah,
I
my
tried
weirdest
cow
thing-
eyeballs while I was in Israel or something.
And did
I
you
don't
know, Eddie, the weirdest thing someone ate in the Bible, maybe a bit blunt, but I don't know. It's also just, I think, to build a relationship with somebody.
Yeah,
Because
true.
ministry is building relationships. Coming
You're
from a
right.
BMS major,
You're
I'm
right.
learning a lot that doing ministry is building relationships with
Right.
people. Because nobody necessarily wants to hear. It's kind of weird hearing it from a stranger off the street, though it is
Right.
possible. But it's easier to share whenever you've built this kind of shared experience and
Right.
friendship with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what that's doing. It's kind of building a basis to build your ministry experience on.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to do that when you've laughed about something with someone and kind of built that
Mhm.
little connection.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the second question is, if you won the lottery, what would be the first thing you would do? Yeah, some simple, easy questions like that. Acquaintances. Ramp it up a bit. What is the greatest accomplishment? What is your greatest accomplishment so far? And another example would be, would you rather hear good news first or bad news first? Like, that's a question, you want to hear the bad news or the good news?
Right.
Which one would you pick first? Actually, I'm curious. Would you be a good news person or a bad news person?
I think I'd rather hear the bad news first, because then you have something to look forward to.
That's how I am. I'd rather get the bad news out of the way. All right, so good friends. You can ramp it up a little more. Were you a rebellious child growing up? And then...
I was not.
Yeah, neither was I. And what do you absolutely hate to see happen around you? So I think that's more of a social type thing. Like, oh, I hate that there's so much poverty in Waynesburg. Example.
Right.
That's unfortunate. Now, big picture. This is where it really gets deep. Really gets deep here, all right?
Hit me with a deep one.
If someone told you truth is relative or absolute, how would you explain ISIS or terrorism?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit of a convoluted question. I think they could have worded it better.
That was a big one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we just jumped
like I
from
said, big
what
question.
you hate to see to explain ISIS based on relative truth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
okay. I took a jump. Big picture for sure.
And then another one was, what do you believe after life and death? Sorry, life after death. What do you believe?
That is a big question.
Life after death? Yeah, like the big picture goes big.
That is big. They're not shying away from big.
Yeah. You can favorite questions. Like if you run into one that you like, you want to keep, you can kind of favorite it. So you can always go back to it later, and not have to randomly scroll through. So sorry, I need to explain this better. So whenever you pick on a category, it randomly generates questions.
Right, makes sense.
And it kind of it's like a full screen. And you just swipe to the left, right, left. Yeah, you swipe to the left to create a new question. I've had this thing for 6 years now. I have noticed that it does. I have seen repeated questions.
Right, there can only be so many questions.
Right, but I use it so infrequently that it doesn't really matter. It always varies what I use this with, and so even though it's a question I've seen before, it doesn't really matter.
You never used it with me when we first met.
I didn't feel like we need. You know what? Fine. After this, we're gonna do. Well, do you have time after this?
Maybe.
All right, fine.
It depends.
We'll talk later. But that, and the question pool isn't large. Like I said, you do see questions over time, but it's not small. You can probably go through 10 questions at least before you start seeing repeated, because it's random, so it might repeat eventually. So yeah, that's pretty much questions in a box. Really simple, great for questions when you can't think of anything, and for
it sounds like a great app.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
I might
nice simple thing.
The problem is I might run through all the questions in one day.
I doubt it. There's a lot.
Challenge.
I mean, I know. I kind of said you see repeats, but like I said, I've had this thing.
I'm going to send you a document later, and it's going to be answers to all the questions on the whole app, just typed out, just to say I did.
Why are you the way that you are? All right, let's quench your appetite. Onward now to history of.
History of. Now,
take it away, Shane.
Eddie, when you were a child, were you ever clumsy?
I mean, I'm still clumsy, but yeah.
Now, did you ever think, man, if I just wrap bubble wrap around myself,
no,
I could be safer?
Because then you pop the bubble wrap and then it's kind of worthless.
Yeah, everyone loves bubble wrap.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about today. The history of everyone's favorite mindless pastime, bubble wrap.
Wait, mindless pastime?
Yeah, I think it's something you just sit there and click, especially if you're nervous or something.
Yeah,
it's not something you have to really focus on unless you're doing something like I've always tried to do, pop every bubble on the whole thing.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, all right.
Now, take your guess, because I always like to do this. Take your guess when the original bubble wrap product was invented.
1960s.
You are actually so close. I'll give it to you. It was 1957.
Ooh. Okay.
Now, one more guess you have to do. What was its original purpose? You'd never guess this in a million years.
To package the atomic bomb.
Believe it or not, bubble wrap did not find its origin in packing, but in wallpaper.
What?
In 1957,
No.
Yep, two engineers, an engineer named Al Fielding and a Swiss inventor named Mark Chavanis. I'm pretty sure I've mispronounced that.
What?
They wanted to make a wallpaper with texture, so they took two shower curtains and they glued them together. When you glued them together, bubbles formed.
Huh.
Needless to say, didn't take off. No one wanted textured wallpaper. I'm pretty sure that's a given.
I don't know. That kind of seems like a cool idea. I kind of like the idea.
It seems a little weird to me.
Okay.
Next, it was thought of to be used as greenhouse insulation. Now, this one makes a lot more sense.
Okay, that makes sense.
Plastic absorbs heat,
And like
especially
the
those
air.
bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would let the bubbles in. It didn't take off either.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it worked, but it was still hard to convince buyers to enclose their environment in plastic. Now, that makes sense.
Fair enough.
you know,
Yeah.
Back
The
before
environment
plastic was a
plastic.
widely used thing. Now, IBM, the computer company,
Right.
this is where you see the packaging thing come in.
Okay.
Because IBM had to ship these really big computers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think it lists what important computers they were. The mid 1960s, bubble wrap starts to become used for shipping because people realize, wait, these air bubbles protect it because otherwise you're just shipping something in a box. And
Yeah.
with these computers, you can't actually you can't expect to just have them ship fine, and you can't take that risk.
Right.
IBM is a big company.
Right.
Now here's the fun part, the interesting fact.
Right.
Did you know the term bubble wrap was actually trademarked? It's a brand name, not a product name.
Okay. It's kind of like
Kleenex.
Kleenex.
Yeah, so it's trademarked by a company called Sealed Air. I'm not
So
kidding.
creative.
Sealed Air, and so they have bubble wrap, and no one else can use the term bubble wrap. Now, there's been more uses of it through history. This one I didn't know and found kind of interesting on film sets. When I first read about film sets, the bubble wrap, I thought it was going to be like for the sound it makes for something.
Right.
But it turns out it's what they usually stuff backpacks with in school settings and
Really?
stuff. Yeah, so they're not actually carrying around like
I mean, that
heavy-
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, cool.
In December 2015, security officials were called to the let's see if I can pronounce this without messing it up, Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque, after they heard gunshots. Turns out it was bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the guy popping the bubble wrap?
They just have the police. Doo, doo, doo,
Yeah, exactly.
doo.
Then in 2015, the Boy Scouts in Elbert, Colorado succeeded, and they set a Guinness World Record for the most number of people popping bubble wrap simultaneously. Take a
Wow.
guess. Don't guess too high.
You
but
say
don't guess too
Boy
high.
Scouts, you said?
Boy Scouts.
I'm going to say 300.
When I said don't guess too high, I meant like don't guess a million. The answer is 2,681.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, all popping bubble wrap simultaneously. Can you imagine what that sounded like?
That's a lot of damage. Sorry.
And again, 2015 was a big year for bubble wrap, okay?
Really?
Because also in 2015, Sealed Air offered iBubble Wrap, a product of bubble wrap that didn't pop. And I've seen this before. It's annoying and stupid.
Really?
Yeah, you can push on it all you want. It doesn't pop. It's, no one wants that.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I've seen it once before, and it was awful.
I mean, it makes sense, but wow.
Yeah, so, nobody wants that.
That's a challenge right there. We get some of that stuff and we just try to pop it.
We're getting there.
That's an episode.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Someone's already done it?
No.
Oh,
Save
okay.
your
All right,
thoughts for a
okay,
second.
Okay.
Save
all
your
right,
thoughts
all
for
right,
a
all right,
second.
all right.
Now, it's also thought that popping bubble wrap could have health benefits. And if it does, we're so healthy, How much bubble wrap bubbles do you think you've popped
Not
in your
enough.
lifetime?
I can safely say not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
We should just go get some bubble wrap and just pop it on air. The whole episode is just us popping bubble wrap. Now, this one's the craziest one.
Okay.
Popping bubble wrap has become such a beloved pastime that the National Toy Hall of Fame once considered it for inclusion in the National Toy Hall of Fame.
Interesting. All right.
It was not included, but it was listed along with Care Bears, Dungeons and Dragons, and other playthings.
I mean, I can see it not being
Bubble
as
wrap.
high as that, but
Was listed. Come on, Care Bears, Dungeons and Dragons, those big names.
those are like huge names, though.
and they listed
Bubble
bubble
Wrap.
wrap to be amongst it, which is, it's pretty impressive.
I mean, it is pretty impressive. I wouldn't put it up there with them, but that's pretty. I would say it's towards that angle of greatness.
Now, in 2010, Sealed Air celebrated the 50th anniversary
Wow.
of bubble wrap, and they made special golden bubble wrap.
Are you kidding me?
I am not. Sealed Air knows what they're doing. I mean,
Wow.
you have to admit, they came up with a product that nobody would have thought of, And it's a pretty well-known product now. I mean, you say bubble wrap and everyone knows what it is.
Wow.
So that's just some fun bubble wrap history for you there. Started out, 2 shower curtains became wallpaper. Then, greenhouse garden stuff. And finally, when IBM decided they needed to ship their computers, they got their big break, and bubble wrap became a thing. And I think it's become, a household staple.
Especially a household item because, you pop it and you throw it away.
Yeah, I mean, my family uses a lot for shipping. We used to use a lot for shipping when we had the cookies. We would ship them. Now we don't ship as much. Bubble wrap. Interesting history.
Mm-hmm.
Never would have guessed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. Yeah. And this leads into our sponsor of the week.
Really?
Sealed Air, the bubble wrap company.
Perfect.
And that's what I was saying. Save your ideas for what you want to do with the bubble wrap. Because all I'm saying is Sealed Air, we know you've got money. You invented bubble wrap.
You've got
You own bubble wrap. You've got money.
I'm sure bubble wrap's pretty cheap.
If you sponsor our show, we will take your bubble wrap. We'll do all sorts of stuff with it. We'll try to pop you in bubble wrap. I'll wrap myself up in bubble wrap and roll down a hill or something.
I will try to pop your unpoppable bubble wrap.
We will see how many layers you can possibly wrap around one person. We will wrap...
Well, that might be a little too much.
No, it isn't. We're going to buy as much bubble wrap as they supply us, and we're going to wrap all of it around me, and we're going to see how big it gets and see if I can still move and walk.
It's kind of like the how many shirts you can put on challenge.
Exactly.
It's kind of like
bubble
that.
Wrap.
That
so Sealed Air.
Fun.
This is a great promotion.
This is pretty good. I mean, we do stupid stuff.
But all you do is sacrifice a couple hundred rolls of bubble wrap.
Couple hundred. That's
why not?
But let's just start with
That's a small dent in their supply. 20. Fine. Let's start with 20. That's
let's
an even
start
smaller
with 20.
dent. You send us 20 rolls of bubble wrap. We will promote your product so much. We'll do all sorts of stuff with it. We'll film it all. We'll post it all. We'll tell people to buy Sealed Air bubble wrap.
I'm sure bubble wrap is an what's the word I'm looking for? Untouched content pool.
And we would like to touch that content pool.
A lot.
We would like to just put our hands in it and just get covered in bubble wrap.
I'm sorry.
So, bubble wrap, give us the opportunity to touch that pool of potential.
I'm sorry. Moving on. They're called B-movies for a reason. And oh boy, do we have a B-movie for you this week.
This one was actually sent in a recommendation by my mom.
Ah!
She hasn't seen it, but she was looking at B-movies for us.
Oh, that's nice of her.
And I've been meaning to look at this one for a while, but that was the motivation I needed to finally go, okay, you know what? I'll look this up, make sure it's appropriate after, the last few incidents.
Yeah. We've only had that happen twice.
But this one looked good, and it was. I mean, not good like good, but content-wise
it was a good choice. It was a good choice for us.
And what would that be, Eddie?
Zombies.
Would you care to explain what zombies means for those in the audience that can't figure it out?
So pretty much, it's a zombie movie in a zoo. However, it's not human zombies. It's animal zombies.
It's a blatant Jurassic Park ripoff.
Well, do they have a weird... The dinosaurs were just dinosaurs. The animals in this movie... Okay, let's start at the beginning.
It's an animal threat in a contained area that only a certain few scientists and interns are allowed into.
Yeah.
It's a Jurassic Park ripoff.
I mean, it is sort of.
There are more blatant ones, but this one, there were Jeeps, there were maps with blinking dots. It was Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I guess you could say. I'm pretty sure they used Jurassic Park in their logo. It's
Yeah, it was...
Or not their motto, not their logo.
Yeah, so, I mean... Yeah. It was... And it wasn't as bad as some could have been. It wasn't completely bad.
Well,
I could probably find you a worse one.
I mean, you could find a worse one. Oh, wait, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So this movie is basically about how this doctor puts an untested serum into a monkey.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, he does. It's the guy at the beginning of the movie.
No, the monkey was already infected.
Was he?
All he put into him was it's stuff they use on regular people.
What?
Yeah, it's not epinephrine, but something like that. It's a medicine it's to restart hearts. That was a thing. Yeah, I'm positive. I've watched. My fiance's mom works in a hospital.
Right,
I think I know what I'm talking about.
All right. I thought the serum.
No, they were already infected by the time this movie starts. That was just to get the monkey back to life,
which was the wrong decision.
Wrong decision.
Because now this monkey can spread the virus, and Yeah, the virus spreads. Sorry, not the virus. The whatever you want to call it.
Now, let's lay down a
Infection.
baseline for this movie. I'm going to ask you some questions. I want you to answer very honestly. Does this movie boast great special effects?
Sort of.
You can say no.
Great's a bit of a.
Does this movie boast acceptable special effects?
Yes, acceptable. Yes.
I was going
Definitely-
for no. It does not.
No, it does. I would say it does. Now okay.
Does this movie have good actors?
Keep in mind it's a B movie. It's not going to be like AAA level movie.
We've seen some good CGI.
It's not great, but it's
movies.
acceptable.
What about great acting? Would you say it has great acting?
No, there's a couple good actors, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Does it have likable, memorable characters? I would say no.
I'm
It does
gonna
not.
say yes. There's two.
There were like two
There's
two
two
characters I liked in
memorable
this movie, and they both died. And it's not a spoiler to say they died because you don't know who I'm talking about. And they died like right off the bat.
Really, we're talking about two different people then.
Yeah, we are.
I
My favorite characters died right off the bat, and I was so upset.
I am talking about Kifu and the little girl. Those are the two characters I'm talking about. Those are the two most
Yeah.
memorable characters.
No, I didn't like the little girl. And it's hard to criticize child actors because again, they're children.
Right.
And I don't expect children to be good actors. Now, there are children who are good actors, but you can't expect every child to be the next,
Yeah.
Liam Neeson. I like Liam Neeson. But this one,
See, I didn't.
she had one good, memorable scene, and the rest I wanted to, like,
Oh, we'll get to that scene. I want to spend
Tell her to get off
time
the
on
movie
that.
set.
But I think the girl's acting was okay. There was a few spots where it was like, "Ugh, that's awful." Like, but that's the script's fault. That wasn't like her fault.
no, I would say it wasn't even the script. I would call it her fault.
Yeah, all right.
But that's just
it's
me.
a little girl for crying out loud. Like,
I know, but
I thought
some
it was
kids can
reasonable.
act, some kids... I mean, happens in professional stuff, too. Like,
I'm just saying how she acted was somewhat reasonable. And
One or two
realistic.
scenes.
Sorry, not reasonable, realistic.
one or two scenes, she had good acting.
I guess we disagree on this. Okay.
Everything up until the bad stuff starts happening, then it kind of goes downhill from there. Her acting makes sense for the beginning of the movie, not for the end.
Okay. I can get with that.
She plays happy little girl very well, but then she becomes annoying and doesn't match the mood of the rest of the movie very much, except for that one scene that's a spoiler to talk about with the bat.
Well, since you're bringing that scene up, we'll jump into it. As much as I don't like this movie, I think that one scene was one of the most shocking scenes we've seen in B movies yet. I'm going to put that out there.
Yeah, I was not expecting it.
It was like, oh my.
Yeah,
that just happened? Like,
that caught me a little off guard.
wow.
I thought I was looking at something else. Well, no, I think I got it as soon as they revealed it, but it was kind of one of those like, okay, wow.
Yeah, jeez.
I was kind of like, where did that come from? Okay, that happened, which I don't know whether to call it cool or unrealistic.
I don't know when to use the word cool. I would,
No.
like I said, shock factor.
Yeah, shock. It was shocking. Okay, so I don't want to use the word shocking or unrealistic. I would say a little bit of both, actually. It was both shocking and a little unrealistic.
I would say both.
But it made for a good shock factor that wasn't too unbelievable.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
yes.
just out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I mean-
it treaded that line, which is one reason why I made it so shocking, just mind blowing.
Yeah.
Best part of the movie by far, which I mean, it isn't like in like, oh, it was a horrible moment, but it was like
Yeah.
the best moment of the entire movie.
Now,
To
the
be
one thing this
honest.
movie did bring, and I was kind of impressed with, was real stakes. By that, I mean, like, it actually felt like
Yeah.
you cared whether or not they screwed up. You didn't care. I didn't care about the characters too much. There was one I didn't care when they died, and
Yeah.
I was kind of happy they were off the movie. But in terms of, like, what would happen with, all I can say is what would happen with the aviary, because that's not a spoiler to say, that felt like, okay, yeah, you actually need to take care of that, or you've got a serious problem.
Well,
I felt that was realistic, and not realistic like it could actually happen.
Right.
But it wasn't like, oh, we have to, because a lot of the B movies we've seen are, oh no, we got to save the Earth. Oh no, we got to save this person. But this was a new plot that we hadn't seen yet that felt like a realistic enough danger. And I honestly was wondering if they weren't going to fix it. I thought it wasn't going to be solved.
Here's the thing. I disagree with you. I think the plot was very generic. Like, it's like,
I can
oh,
see
we
that.
got to prevent the outspread from happening
Yeah.
just with animals this time. Also, it would have been actually like felt like there were stakes if they literally didn't do everything wrong in this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every
they do
action
everything
they took, they did
stupid.
everything the worst possible
And
way.
I think we can talk about that part, not that part of the plot, but we can talk about the aviary because it's probably in the trailer if we bother to watch.
Is it? I'm not sure. I don't watch the trailers.
I think we can talk about because they talk about it right in the beginning.
Okay, yeah, that's true because they do mention it from the beginning. So the thing is, like in this aviary, there of course is birds. The idea is that all the animals are contained in the suit except for the birds if they get out of the aviary because of course they can fly away.
Right.
And then they'll spread the virus.
They spread it
amongst the
worldwide.
animals worldwide. Boo hoo.
Now the way they solved that problem was so stupid. We can
Right.
talk about it after the show when we can talk about spoilers, but
It was the
hate
wrong
it.
way to do it. The way they would have done
It
it
made no
would have
sense.
let the birds out either
yeah,
way.
exactly.
And it would have not made a
no
difference.
sense anyways because again, I can't talk about it too much, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't have worked realistically.
And there's other things. So like, it's a zoo. There's monkey in this zoo.
Yeah.
You know what monkeys are great at?
Jumping over things.
Yeah, climbing and jumping over
swinging,
things.
yeah.
They would have gone over the fence. So the aviary wasn't the biggest issue. They were screwed either way. Like there was no way.
Also, okay, we talk about a couple other inconsistencies in this film. Again, aren't spoilers. They have shotguns. What zoo just has shotguns? I thought they
I
were
have no
dart guns
idea.
when they first opened
Yeah.
that trunk. I thought they were huge like dart guns.
Yeah.
No, just full blown Mossberg shotguns. Why?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. I mean, they do have a security team.
Yeah, but they had pistols. What? That too.
See, I can see pistols
When have
in
you
case
ever
something
been
goes
to a
wrong.
zoo
I can
and
see
seen
that.
a security guard packing openly?
Not openly, no. But this is very true. But
That
I
was
can,
the other
I can
reason that
see
character
maybe a
annoyed
gun or two being stored somewhere. I
Stored
think that
somewhere,
is-
yeah. But just openly carried on their
Unacceptable.
hip like that, it was just weird. So we can kind of talk about some of the main characters. It takes place with what was it?
There's
5 or 6
There's
interns.
a whole host of characters.
Yeah, so the main cast is your 5 or 6 interns that come there. Now the zoo isn't open yet. That's an important detail.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we're
yes.
jumping around a lot on this.
We
one,
are
but-
jumping a lot around.
Let's
There's a
just
lot to
start-
talk about in this.
Yeah.
One. There's a lot of things, good, bad. There's a lot of
So
details.
the movie opens. The zoo isn't open yet. It's being worked on.
Yes.
So your cast is the main scientist, whose name I don't remember, Elizabeth or not Elizabeth.
Wait, I have it written down over here.
Ellen.
Ellen Rogers.
So Ellen and her daughter.
The zoo is called Eden Wildlife Zoo,
Yeah.
by the way.
and she runs that. She's your John Hammond of this project.
Yes.
If you know Jurassic Park. Then you've got the cast of 5 or 6 interns, all of which are doing different jobs, all of which have different
Right.
strengths and stuff like that, and one
Strengths
annoying
is a very
one.
generous term.
I mean, they all have different interests, traits and
And
interests.
There you go.
And they each, so there's all of them. There's all the zoo experts, like the guy who runs the primate section, the girl who
Right.
runs the aviary. I liked her.
She was okay.
And then, the rest of them. And then the security team. The security team was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The interns, not so much. I didn't like any of them.
They were a lot of student stereotype, like
Yeah.
bad student stereotypes. College student, by
I
the
didn't
way.
even really like the main guy.
It was bad.
I think I was supposed to, but I didn't.
the guy in the suit, right?
Yeah.
He changed characters halfway through the film,
Right?
Because he starts out as the. I won't tell about the second half. I'll let
Yeah,
that go
yeah.
because you want to watch it. But the first half is how you see him. He's just like the very
Not stuck up, but like very by the book.
Yes, by the book, strict standards guy.
Yeah.
He very follows protocol. He's that sort of guy.
Yeah.
Writes his thesis papers. He knows idealist.
And then he
He's
just
an
changes
idealist.
for no
He changes
reason.
very dramatically.
And
They're
there's
so
a
different.
romance too that wasn't needed.
No.
They were trying to sell it. I didn't buy it.
No.
And
No.
then the other cast member who I didn't like, and I think I was supposed to, was
Instead of talking about who we didn't like, let's talk about who we did like.
okay. We did like,
Because there's more unlikable ones than likable ones.
yeah.
So who did you like again?
I'm trying to remember his name.
You
I'm gonna look it up while we're sitting
Describe
here.
him to me.
He was the one security guard who liked to joke around. He had blonde, pointy hair. His name was
He
like
was the guy who took care of the gorillas, Kifu.
no. That guy was cool. I'm talking about
The student, the blonde student that kind of looks like Clay Matthews.
No, his name
Linebacker? No.
Boris. It
Boris.
was.
Which one's that?
He was the. Again, they died really quickly. Oh, spoiler! But you know what? If you're watching this movie, you can't care too much.
I wouldn't watch this movie.
Yeah, I can't honestly recommend it. I'm trying to find a good picture of him.
What was his role?
He was one of the few security guards in the beginning of the movie that go to investigate the lab.
Wait.
And he was big. He was a big guy.
He was Asian. What are you talking
No,
about?
not him. That was Ty. He was Ty's friend. I'm trying to find a good picture of him. But
There's a lot of characters in this film.
There are.
They die. Some of them die off quickly. Some of them stay, and the ones that stay are the ones.
Why are there no pictures of this man?
Okay, well, it doesn't matter.
Well,
we do need to get
we can keep
on.
going.
But okay, so our list of good characters is different. The one Ellen Rogers was an okay actor.
I didn't like her.
She wasn't great. She was just like typical.
Yeah.
Typical actor. The one British actor, before I get into that, so British actor, she was okay. Leslie, her name was.
I didn't like her either. Lizzie.
She was okay. I'm not saying she was a likable character. I'm just saying her acting.
She wasn't the
okay.
worst. Yeah.
And her character was.
It was decent.
Her character was I wouldn't say it's likable, but whatever. I think we have a new B-movie Avenger, by the way.
Kifu?
No. Random British side characters. We have one in Road Wars for no apparent reason. We have one in this movie for no apparent reason. And I'm sure there's one in before for no apparent reason.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So my proposal to you is have a side character of random British character.
Well, I think we can make their own separate thing.
What do you think?
A separate team, if you will.
The random British
Like,
team.
if we have the B-movie Avengers, these should be like the B-movie X-Men or something,
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
To come in and help them.
Okay, we'll toss it out there. We'll leave it out there. Remind me to write that
down. If we can keep
after.
building a collection of these guys, then we will.
An episode. We'll have a whole episode dedicated
now,
to B-movie Avengers. Like an actual theater script. Anyways, sorry, continue.
The one thing this movie did really well, I thought, and I actually kind of, not related to it, but it made me feel, okay, this is some good stuff, was their talk about endangered animals. Because a lot of the stuff they had in the zoo was endangered, especially the birds. And they did that without making it into a big political thing.
That's
it was
true.
just, we've got endangered animals. And they also didn't just sacrifice. They didn't just call it off because, oh no, there's endangered animals. The characters did what they had to do.
Yes.
So when they, did whatever they had to, no spoilers, to the aviary, that one character didn't hesitate. She's like, okay, got to get this done. Doesn't matter what's going to happen. I mean, I felt that was good. And also, you could tell there was they did emotion decently well.
Yeah. So this. I'm going to spoil this, but it's the beginning, 5 minutes of the movie. So Ellen Rogers, her grandfather founded the zoo, and Ellen Rogers is kind of continuing her act. So her destroying everything and killing animals, it's emotional, and you can feel for her.
Right.
Not very well because the movie isn't exactly great, but you can feel for her. Don't hit your phone. What's wrong with you?
I'm trying to find this picture.
Don't worry about it.
I'll find it some other time.
There's a lot of different characters. I wouldn't worry about it. But yeah, is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh yeah, Kifu's the Harambe of horror movies. Can we agree on that?
That was such a weird character.
They
tried to set up some stuff with it. I'm pretty sure he's the reason for the sequel. There is a sequel.
Yeah,
and I think we're gonna watch it.
Are we? I don't want to watch
I think we should. I mean, it's only right. And play the video game.
No, I don't want to play. All right, we'll talk about it. I'm not up for it, but we'll see. I think that's...
Yeah, overall, would I recommend this movie? No. Was it a decent watch? Yeah. Was it a good watch?
It's below par. Nah, I wouldn't. I think that's what I want to talk. Oh, the video quality was good. It was, the videography was good.
Yeah,
the lighting could have been better in some situations.
But overall, not a terrible film to watch.
Not terrible. You're going to cringe at, the acting and, the storyline, and the fact that they mess everything up.
Yeah.
And the stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
But not the fact that it's a horrible quality film.
Now, the only thing this film boasts is you don't know what characters are going to survive. I didn't.
That is true. Yeah,
I could not tell who was staying alive and who wasn't.
Yeah.
They kill off a lot, and you're never sure who it is.
Which is nice.
You have your characters you hope won't make it. You know who I'm talking about. But, yeah, overall, they keep you guessing on who's going to stay alive by the end of this.
All right, so Shannon, you want to rank this?
Yeah, so what do we got?
Okay, so here's
a
a list.
I need to write these down.
I have here. So Dave Made a Maze, Orcs, Road Wars, Zombie, and Inhuman Witch. Those are the 5 we've seen.
I'm going to go Dave Made a Maze, of course, for me, for my top. Then probably Road Wars, because I love the uniqueness of it.
Okay.
Then Orcs.
Yeah.
Then Zombies. Okay. Then Inhuman Witch. Did I get everything?
Yep.
Okay.
You start from the top to the bottom, right?
Yeah. I start from best to worst.
Inhuman Witch is your favorite B movie. All right, so my list is actually very similar. So I'm going to start from the bottom, go to
Yeah.
the top. So Inhuman Rich and then Zombie.
Yeah.
So we're the ingredients there. I actually have Road Wars, then Orcs.
Yeah, we talked about that last show.
Yeah. Then Dave Minimates is top.
Of course.
So that's my so Zombie. I wouldn't recommend it unless
Yeah.
you're really, really, really looking for a different take.
If
on
you're a college
zombie.
student looking for something to watch and make fun of with your friends, I'd recommend it.
Even then, I'd rather go watch these other movies. For
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like that.
true. But to be fair, this movie, aside from a little bit of violence here and there, and even then, it's not that. I mean, it's a little gory,
Yeah,
but it kept it mostly appropriate.
that is true. There wasn't any.
There was barely.
swearing.
Yeah, it was rated like whatever for foul language, and I barely heard any language, and I was impressed.
Yeah, and there's no
A
like,
lot of
sex
B movies
scenes or anything
rely
like
on it.
that.
Yeah, the gore is the only thing you gotta watch out for, and
Well,
there's
there's
like
a good amount
the
of
character
gore.
does get their eyes ripped out,
Yeah, there's a good
but
amount.
it's also a B movie, so their budget's not the best.
And that one
So-
shock scene, like
Yeah,
that one shock scene, made it almost worth watching that movie.
right.
At least for me, anyway. So you could.
Oh,
be
yeah.
different. But yeah, definitely like one of the best movements out of all these films. I
Yeah.
think it's crazy. Okay, I think that's it. Right?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the show, everyone. Kind of a shorter episode
Yeah,
this time
but
around.
packed with content.
Packed with content.
Packed with content.
So I'm trying to get my energy up because I've been up since like 7:30. I'm just dead.
And Eddie, this time it's your turn to end the show.
My turn.
You always ask me how we're gonna end the show.
True, you're
this
right.
time I'm
Well, usually
asking
you have good ones. You usually have good ones.
I have none today.
All right.
Eddie, how are we gonna end this show? Make it witty, meaningful, polite, memorable. You're not allowed to swear.
I don't swear.
I know.
Why would you say that?
Shock value. Yeah, see, it's hard to come up with, isn't it?
Yeah, this is why I ask you because I'm not really good at this sort of thing. I'm trying to think of a good quote for the movie.
Yeah, there's not a lot of quotable lines from this movie.
Yeah, there really was much. Excuse me. Quotable lines.
Well, then we'll just end it the way all shows should be ended.
Oh wait,
Stay in-
bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap.
I probably just said something in bubble wrap code.
I can't mess that. There we go. Oh, he's gonna have close.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.